Nerds. I was gonna get boxes of Nerds that sounded like this. I thought that would make a fun intro, but the gas station near your house does not sell Nerds in a box. So we've got Nerds clusters. This is a For the Nerds breakdown of Down. And Josh is very nervous because he's not cleaned up the session and didn't realize that y'all would be looking at it, but...
I did not. It's great. What are we breaking down?
Breaking down. Josh started on this song first with Kyle, and it was just going to be a Kyle song. Was it always planned to just be a Kyle song, or was it, like, left open?
Yeah. No, it was going to be just a Kyle song. It was me, him, and Justin that started it. My buddy Justin. Shout out. You're great, buddy. But yeah, a lot of it just came, like, in the moment. Like, all of our side of the writing was maybe 30 minutes at the most. Initially, we just wrote the hook. And the bass line.
There were so many words to that hook.
There are a lot of words.
Down,
it's the same word, but, you know, it's not super deep.
Yeah. Took you 30 minutes? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not judging.
Oh, I see what you're saying. We weren't exactly sure how many downs to say. Is this too much? Yeah.
So you guys had started it. When I heard it, when you played it for me, was like a while after that, and it was just a verse and a chorus, and I was like, that sounds really cool. Like, I really like that.
It sat there for a while, and we didn't really know what we were doing because we were working with Kyle on some other songs. And it just got to the point of like, man, I think that would sound good on this. And it just kind of transitioned into that world, to your world.
My world. So what did you guys start with when you were writing? Did you have like just the guitars? Or did you start with pads?
Justin had some pads he was playing, but it really started with the bass line. Like the verse bass line.
Which one? You want to play it?
Yeah, you play it. This young fella right here.
Started with a bass.
So that was our initial.
So catchy.
Yeah.
Did you guys play that one, or was it a sample?
No, Justin played that.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh, Justy Poo.
Oh, Jay Strack. Jay Straw. He had that, and we just kind of started writing. We had the idea, I think, down from the get-go, because Kyle and I were joking. Do we want to get into like what the song's about?
Yeah, you may as well.
So, it's technically our version of a dance song, but the problem is me, Kyle, and even Justin, we're sort of introverts when it comes to that. Like, but the idea of dancing sounds so great, right? So like every now and then, like I just need to dance. Like, I just got to move. But I'm also the person who overthinks everything. I'm like, but they're looking at me, and I could be in a room by just myself. But I think
the
somehow
aliens are looking
somebody is remote viewing us right now. You know. So it honestly turned into, it's really just about social anxiety.
Those vocals from Kyle, those were your day of vocals, right?
All of Kyle's stuff is
Let's see how they are.
day of right.
Kyle, you sick freak, being good at things right away.
He's pretty good. Where is the first verse?
Well, now it's the second verse. Originally, Kyle's verse was the first verse.
That's right. Kyle's is the second verse.
Our buddy Chad was like, you guys should switch that. You should have Nat's verse first, then Kyle. And we're like, oh, okay.
Well, yeah, whatever. But yeah,
so we
it was great.
Ended up chopping this song up quite a bit in different pieces.
Yeah.
Spotlight, all eyes looking at me. All I wanna do is just breathe.
It's sort of like
Your brain.
Yeah, it's my brain. Like, dude, don't get in your mind. Like, just get down. Don't bring me down. Get down, Bruce. So yeah, that's kind of the initial start of the song. Was that verse?
What'd you guys try his vocals on?
A Soyuz A17. It's a very nice mic. The initial, let's jump back real fast. The initial guitars that we tracked day of was Justin and I think Kyle. I think they both played different parts. But we had little candies just really in the background. We pan them around. And then here's the dirty part, which we kind of fell in love with. Super disco. And we made it really thin. Ryan made it really thin. And to make it sound like it's coming through like a broken amp. You can totally get that because you get cool, fun, dirty harmonics in the mid and top. And then when you layer in a bigger guitar, it sits great with it. And then we had our buddy Kendall lay the goods on. So here's the layers of the post chorus.
I loved the verse 2. Can you play Kendall's verse 2 guitars? These little like like were some of my favorite candies.
Yeah. It's real sound designy.
I love those because they add so much.
Yeah.
But they're just hiding in there.
It's that hidden like motion.
Can you play it
Love.
all together
Yeah.
really quick or unsolo that
Where?
on the verse 2?
So here's verse 2 and solo.
Spotlight, all eyes looking at me. All I wanna do is just breathe. Messing with my mind, but it can't hold me. Don't you say it. So don't let me.
I always thought that was funny. Don't you say it.
Yeah, don't you say
Like
it.
when you guys wrote that. Like the first time I heard that, I was like, you're so dramatic. But I love it.
So I sort of had to sell them on that a little bit because
You had to sell me on it, and now I
Yeah.
love it.
yeah, because I just thought it would be funny, like having this whisper come up, like, don't you say it. It made me laugh in the moment when we were writing, so thankfully they agreed to do it,
Yeah.
which is awesome. Favorite things?
Ooh, wait, go to the strings.
Did
I'm
we go to the
sorry.
strings?
As soon as I
Okay.
saw that, I said that.
So these strings are samples from a different song that Justin and I worked on with our friend Olivia. She used to come and do strings for us all the time. So these actually we're sampling another one of our songs and just pitching it and making it sound really, really weird.
Did you
but-
reverse them?
Oh yeah. Yeah, reversed them, pitched them, we did a bunch of
Put
things.
your
to it.
thing down, flip it, and reverse it?
Yeah, we Elliot the Missy really hard. Just texture, such fun texture. Then we get this guy, which is signature now in the turnaround, so for
It's
all
my
the
fave.
sections. Yeah, we love those
Can you play what it
things.
sounds like unsoloed?
Yes, we can.
For those that have not heard
That's
it.
right.
Just let me get.
Yeah,
It's fun.
money. I
I
like
love it.
I like it. The other thing that I love is something that Justin came up with. And we took an 808 and pitched it into a rhythm and created this thing. All together with just the drums on that thing, just so you can hear like the vibe it gets, even if it's just percussion and drums.
I could do a whole nother song start just off of this.
Yeah,
I like it.
we love that. It's great.
I love the brrrr.
Yeah.
That's one of my faves. One
Yeah.
of my favorite candies.
Yep, that is
Candies.
oh
I
nerds.
should open these. These ones are M&Ms. These ones are. Do you want any?
I mean, I do, yeah.
I felt like that was gonna be such a cute intro, and then they don't have them anymore.
So those things are a Justin did a little twiggle on a Prophet 6.
Little twiggle giggle.
Little twigs. Just oh,
I love it.
so tasty.
Tasty.
So tasty.
babies.
Yeah, the stuff that Justin played on these keys is dope. Like just all of like the atmospheric things.
There's like
So
a hint. There's like a hint of church bells in there.
Yeah.
It reminds me when I went to Lutheran school, like every hour on the hour, and you hear the bells and stuff.
Ooh.
Actually, you know what? It was alright.
It was?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
It had a certain smell. Like, as soon as I hear those church bells, I smell
Oh, yeah.
dust, paint, and cleaner
Dust and cleaner.
all at the same time.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I know. It's cool.
A little bit of the lunchroom, like,
Yeah.
gets in there.
Ugh.
It was it was a good school, though.
For some reason, it just, like, thinking about all those things together, it only made me think of, like, the vomit cleaner stuff.
Oh, no. Oh, the, like, spray.
Yeah, the
no, I wasn't
sprinkle.
thinking that. I was thinking, like, you know, in those old buildings, like, it was a old 100-year-old building.
Mhm.
Like, it's been painted over, like, 17 times, you know, like, you could scrape through it and, like,
Yeah.
find different layers of paint. And, like, it's always dusty even whenever it's clean. And, like, there's that Fabuloso cleaner. Like, it was that
Yeah.
combo of, like,
Nice.
dust. I mean, I guess the paint was more of a texture and not a smell, but it's painting a story.
Yeah, that's better than mine.
I don't know.
Memories.
Little church bells. Little boop. Let's see, what else is in here? Oh, okay. Let's hop over to this bridge. You crazy person, you.
The bridge?
Yeah, this was a Josh
The bridge
idea
was
through
mine.
and through. Like, coming out of the bridge, excuse me. The jam.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like,
Jam.
wait, you want to do what? But then
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, it's cool
Like, I just wanted,
to get down.
yeah, I just wanted a section that we could just, like, jam and just, like, feel good for a second before I built into the last chorus. Like, I get into that stuff. So, want to just play the bridge into the
Sure.
jam? Here's the bridge into the jam.
Don't care if you say you're not really there. I found love. Don't care if you say you're not really there. I found love. I think I got to move. There's nothing I can do. I think I've got to move. There's nothing I can
I was like, you want to do what?
Yeah.
And then it's become one of my favorite things.
I have really bad ADD, like, musically as well. And, like, we like the bridge, but, like, I just kept hearing something that needed to be, like, a little more aggressive in nature. And what's funny is Nat and I write songs from different perspectives, but they sort of end up aligning. And, like, all I was hearing was, like, a release. Like, let's say we've got this stuff, like, you've been dancing, but you actually haven't been dancing yet, you're really wanting to.
This
And,
is like where you actually
This
let
is the
go.
section when you're like, I don't care anymore. Like, I just want to dance. So, like, that's the beginning of this. And then the last
Mm-hmm.
chorus is happy dance. Real fast, these drums, they're bounced down now. But it's actually two kits. We recorded one on the right side, one on the left side. And we pan them as it goes just to give vibe, because I didn't want the drums to be super present. I just wanted them to be there.
On the bridge. Before the jam.
Before the jam.
This one was what makes it feel like dreamlike
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
I like that because it feels like you're in their brain.
Yeah. And, like,
And they're like inner thoughts.
like, my taste when it comes to things, like, which is probably something Nat and I argues a lot about, is that I love things way dry. Like, Nat loves some reverb and some, like,
I like some echo
life.
ooey
And I
gooey.
totally understand that, because, yes, that does give life to tracks. I will admit that all day long. But my innate, like, want when I'm writing something is, like, if this sounds good really dry.
I do agree with that. If it sounds good dry, like by the time you add your texture, the
Yeah.
time you add your ooey gooey, like it's going to be a
Yeah.
warm chocolate chip cookie coming out of the oven.
Yeah, and I just want to put a
When
little
the-
bit of ice cream on
When
it.
the
then.
dough tastes good, you know the cookie's going to taste
Put a
good.
little ice cream on it and then just let it
Ooh,
melt.
yeah.
And then sure, now I'm hungry. Yeah. So those are just kind of like some little things.
What
inside
did those
there.
ones sound like dry?
I don't remember.
Can you turn off the...
They're-
Oh, you already baked them in?
Yeah, they're baked in now.
Oh.
Like, that's
Cookies.
something I have to do, because if I don't bake stuff in as we're going, I would constantly change it. And
Again,
then,
back to 88,
and then at some point, I'm like, this is the worst thing I've ever done. And then I knew everything. I'm like, oh, okay. So I have to bake things pretty quickly.
What did we layer in on the final chorus to make it bigger?
Here is Matt, our buddy Matt.
Sure.
Matt Maxwell. Shoutsies. He played some, basically like the chorus space. Because, like, I love disco. Like, I love anything bass and drums that, like, makes you want to move, like, I can get into. Whether that's dance, disco, whatever it is. And I told Matt, like, bro, like, I just need something that feels like it would be in the 70s, but feels like now at the same time. And so he played this, and he did it in 2 parts, which I think was dope. We did a slap, like, high accent part over the bass line itself, and it ended up sounding like this, which is great. Got a Moog here that I just literally kind of automated the filter and stuff in the moment, and we're playing on the bridge. I actually have some
Love it.
verb. I have some
I know.
spring verb
That's probably why I like
on
it
that.
so
I'm
much.
sure it is. Whatever. It just made sense. It made sense.
You know what else I really love in this song is the last chorus. You can stay in the drums actually.
Uh-huh.
The ba ba thing.
Oh yeah, like I have a tendency, like every drummer by nature, every drummer has like their things that they go back to in every song that they play. It's like their things, and I love going over the bar line and playing from the 4 into the 1 of the next bar, and like just doing rhythms or playing that to where your crash ends up being on 2 instead of 1 or the downbeats. But it just made sense. Like it just needed
Can you
a
play
little
like
bit.
the section that you're talking about just
Yes,
so that they're not
yes.
lost?
Down.
I love that spot.
Yeah.
What does that sound like soloed out? Just the drums and perk.
Oh, it sounds delightful. Can
Am I
do-
speaking your love language right now? Like,
Yes,
please
this
solo the drums
This
and
is the
perk.
best. I'm so excited. Not dealing with vocals right now. You kidding me? This is great. So here's the last chorus, just bass and drums, just because it just slaps.
Okay, so let me tell you why I love this so much. I've never told you this before. There is a distinct, memory in my head of Grease when they're at the dance. The one girl that, does the cha-cha dance stuff, kind of slides in and, takes Danny as her dance partner. And they're, doing this dance, and she does this, pop, 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 pop with her, skirt. And for whatever reason, every time I hear that, it makes me think of John Travolta dancing in Grease.
It's fun.
I don't know. What else was in this song that we liked? Well, by the time we hopped on it as TC, since, you and Kyle and Justin had started it, I felt kind of excited because I was like, oh, I'm invited to the boys club. Which felt like a nice, flattering, invitation.
Welcome.
I was
Welcome.
but we were like, okay, what else do we write? I mean, both of us have a lot of social anxiety. I mean, I just have generalized anxiety about so many things, like things that don't even make sense, things that I know don't even make sense, yet like I'll still get anxious about them. So like my stuff was coming from the perspective of like my clothes are gonna feel too tight, I'm gonna feel trapped in my own skin, like I just don't even know that I want to like mess with it. Was kind of where we ended up on our side of the writing. But it was kind of interesting trying to track vocals since we weren't tracking on the same gear. It wasn't the same day. It wasn't the same space. Like, how do we get these vocals to blend? So what did we track these ones on?
A lot of experimenting. We tracked these vocals on a Sound Deluxe U99, great microphone. And then we I faked some of the processing we used on the session we did with Justin and Kyle. I tried to get it as close.
You want to solo them vocals for a second?
Yeah. Yep, so here's the first verse with Nat.
So tight, so numb I could barely feel. Tonight, give me something that's real. Messing with my mind, but you can hold me. Don't you say it. So don't let me.
Yeah, dude.
Some of the, because I was singing so soft, there was no way to get out some of that click.
Oh, no, dude.
Oof.
And
because I'm pretty sure we retracked them, and it was like, oh, the feeling's not there.
Yeah,
Let's just leave the one that has the click bleed in it.
Yeah, it wasn't there, and I took it out as much. And, of course, in the mix, when it's playing, you don't hear it. But, I don't know, we get into that stuff. Like, I love, like, the raw, real aspect of things. Like, we don't tune everything. Like, we're not really going for...
Only if it's, like, egregious.
Yeah, if it serves it and it needs, like, Nat's got great pitch, so... Yeah, timeline's a different story, but great pitch is
enough.
The thing.
I've been working on that.
Yeah, she is. She's getting great. She's getting great. She's
got real potential.
She's got that tinge of Poe, you know. Yeah, so not overly tuned. Like, I really didn't tune Kyle's stuff because there's just something about it that like it just feels more authentic. And Kyle has great pitch anyway, so it doesn't like. It just is what it is. We kind of both feel like there's magic being in the moment, and like even if it were processed the same way a different day, there's some kind of energy that's in it day of.
Would you say it's the frequency?
It's the frequency. It is. We can get into that stuff. That day's frequency.
There's truth in that.
Yeah,
there's truth in
there's a lot of truth in it. But yeah, that's how we approach a lot of the vocals that we do.
This song's kind of been on a journey.
Oh, it has.
Like, it was so different.
Like, for me, the drums weren't right for the longest time. Like, I tracked multiple drum kits on it, and it just wasn't, like, hitting. And so I just said...
What one did you end up leaving in here?
My Ludwig's. I have an old... Well, it's not really an old kit. It's a nice Ludwig kit. But really, I ended up just sampling it and then playing it back in a drum machine, which I'm like... Great. I play all my perk and like hats and like all of that stuff live. I really don't time align those things for the nerd aspects of this, obviously. I want those so bad.
Hop into these.
But yeah, it took a while.
Go down back to like the drums and perk.
Yeah.
For a second. Oh my gosh, these are so good.
Yeah. Couple lifts. I love the DBX 160 on my drum bus for all you nerds. Like. I blend it in, I kind of parallel it a lot just to give a little bit more punch. But yeah, like, it took me the longest thing, obviously, because I'm a drummer and I need them to slap, but kind of find that right balance of dynamics of what I want to play versus what needs to be played. Having to lean more into the producer versus the drummer. I just need this. So.
What section was your favorite on this one? As far as drums go?
I really like all of them. Like,
thanks, Grandma Betty.
Yeah.
No, like if you had to pick a favorite.
Like, well, there's a couple sounds that I love.
Oh, yeah. Let's get into the sounds.
Because there is initially when we had Kyle as the first verse and he sings Spotlight, like I remember.
Yeah, go to verse 2. Like just play.
I remembered from sound design days that I had this like massive Warehouse Life. Like light switch sound, like, you know, the power box, and I turned it into the backbeat of this section. So here it is by itself. So I've got it with some spring reverb on it, but it's in this pre-chorus, and I'll just do the drums.
Or if you do it right before verse 2 when he says spotlight.
Oh yeah, there.
Spotlight, all eyes looking at me.
I love a good sound design on it.
Yeah, it's a perfect lift.
And even though we didn't have a spotlight reference in verse 1, I like that you brought it back so that it kind of like ties them in together.
Continuity. That's at least a good thing for my ADD.
Some people like it.
Some people.
I like it.
Oh, no.
We have some crowd noise in there to
We
give
do.
it some life
Yep.
in verse 1.
We do. We've got this.
It's just tucked in there. Oh, I already feel anxious. Small talk, mingling.
Oh,
What you been up to, man? How's the weather over there?
hey, that's great. Hey, you want to get down?
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your like least favorite small talk question?
Oh, weather stuff. I know I've got friends who like take it down on talking about the weather.
They do.
Yeah, and like I'm just like, man, yeah, it's gonna be cold.
You want to know what your version of that is?
Aliens?
No,
Oh.
but yes, I could see that. No, whenever you want to talk gear with people.
Oh, yeah, Nat. Yeah, I feel Nat's glare when we're amongst other producers and friends, and like I just like, oh man, what'd you run those vocals through? You know, hey, what's your vocal chain? Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of musicians relate. to that.
No, they relate to that. It's just.
But that is definitely
it is a funny like.
my version.
Have you seen that they have the such and such feature? And then, oh yeah, it's just it's funny.
Yeah,
I feel like that's your version of like.
Guilty as charged on that one. A lot of our crashes in this song is actually just a reverse Moog. So, and this is something that Justin did, and then I copied it and made it into the song more. But like a lot of our swells and like transitions, it's all just from a Moog, but they just sound really percussive. Here's one. We love to be like really textile and like make things like I want to have
from
things,
a lot of voice memos or
yeah like we want things to be
random.
like unique, and I know everybody does, but like we love like knowing that like this isn't in any song ever. It may sound like some things, sure, because we definitely get inspiration, but yeah, we take pride in that. I think one of the backbeats is a bag of forks or spoons. I can't remember which one. Like literally it's forks and spoons and a Ziploc baggie, and then I put tape around it so it's not so rattly. And I think this is it. It's really thinned out, EQ'd it, but like it adds a great lift for backbeats.
I like it.
Got a clap, so I've got a bajillion snares evidently.
Always.
2 kicks for different sections and lifts. Multiple drum loops. Here's a drum loop in verse 2 that's just kind of sitting underneath. Okay. That's the kick stuff in there. Then here's our second drum loop layer. All mid. Like so, that's the part that you're gonna feel in the chest a little bit, even though there's no low end. But that's the purpose.
So then it sounds like.
And then it sounds like all together on that. Actually, both of those together. Just do both of those. All of the drums in that section together feel like this, going into the pre-chorus.
It makes you move.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know that that's what's making you move, but it makes you move.
And the snare drum I used is a Ludwig Superphonic, and I tracked it in a garage because I like.
Oh yeah, we were gonna hear the garage echo on that.
Yeah.
Solo that out for me.
Like I love putting verb and then I put a gate on it to then suck it up. But I think it sounds cool. It's got like a basketball-y kind of sound. We've got this guy in the. Now this is dope.
The bridge.
This is Justin again. He played this arpeggio, but like did it late to where it's sort of over the bar line and not really in time, but it sounds so cool.
Cool.
Super cool.
Mm-hmm.
What is this guy? Oh yeah, the wubby. This guy. Yeah.
I think that might be it on this song.
Kind of covered quite
A
a
bit.
bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked this song. I think it was really fun. I liked that it was kind of like in pieces and had a lot of different stages and a lot of different, like it started in one place and ended up in another, and it went on a journey.
It's fun when it works out. Sometimes that just doesn't work when you're kind of adding new elements and an artist, but it stayed pretty cohesive and just transformed cleanly.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
those are all the things.
And that's our breakdown of Down.
Thank you for that ending, kind.
Exec decided.
Oh, getting spicy. It's gonna get crazy now.
Well, too late.